Things you should know to better understand echidnas. The word echidna comes from the Greek word echidna, which was a mythological creature that was half woman and half snake. This name was given to this little animal because it was thought to have qualities of both mammals and reptiles. They are mammals, but they lay eggs. Yes, just like platypuses and chickens with little arms. Echidnas are found only in Australia and New Guinea. They have the widest distribution of all native mammals in Australia and prefer alpine grasslands, coastal forests, and the interior deserts of the country. Although they may seem like small animals because they resemble hedgehogs, they can actually measure between 35 to 76 centimeters in length and weigh between 3 to 10 kilograms. The only similarity they have with hedgehogs is their spines, which are hollow and can grow up to 5 centimeters long. Some people think that the long protrusion on their face is a beak, but this is not true. That is their nose. This nose is very special as it helps them perceive vibrations in their environment and escape from predators. Yes, very young echidnas can be eaten by dingoes, goannas, snakes, and cats. Adult echidnas are occasionally captured by dingoes as well, but this time with eagles, foxes, and Tasmanian devils. These devils even eat their spines. This is innovation. Kazuya Shibata created a device that protects your face from unexpected falls of your phone while you are in bed. Have you ever wondered why almost all celebrities have perfect teeth? Because they cheat. They get dental veneers. A dentist reshapes their teeth to make them narrower. Over these, they put porcelain covers. On average, getting these veneers costs $2,000 per tooth. Cancer took one of Emilio Betancourt's legs, but that does not stop him from being happy and sharing his happiness with others. Look at what he does when he buys a new pair of sneakers. He keeps one and gives the other to Alex, a man who also does not have one of his legs. This person found the perfect way to keep insects away from his yard. A couple of episodes ago, we showed you this electric car that accelerates from 0 to 100 in less than a second. Here you can see the pilot's perspective. This is how Pablo Rochad cooks the sausages for his hot dogs. Yes, it's cooking at sea. Sure hands. Mobility builds mobility lifts that allow people who cannot walk to have a slightly more independent life. Rufus is a small and lonely island in the Raja Ampat archipelago in Indonesia. Erosion created an internal lagoon with emerald green water. Mike Hurd, 41, holds the world record for the most bungee jumps in a single day. In total, he jumped 941 times. This is how the United States Navy tests the mechanism that helps airplanes take off from aircraft carriers. At first glance, the Fantasy Hike app might seem like any other that shows you the steps and kilometers you walk during the day. But the interesting part of this one is that it compares your journey to Frodo's trip to Mordor in The Lord of the Rings. This is the Vatican, the smallest country in the world with just 0.44 square kilometers of land. And this is the size of a blue whale. It takes up a pretty good portion. Sudakar builds some of the strangest and most original cars in the world, from a camera, a pool table, to a hamburger. This is a McGregor bowerbird. This curious bird decorates its home with pieces of fruit and insects to attract females. It looks like it's decorating a Christmas tree. This is Amaury Wichon's chocolate chess set. It makes you want to eat it. Did you know that when crows are very happy they do this? They wag their tails like dogs. Did you know that using headphones for a couple of hours a day increases the amount of bacteria in your ears by 700%? Don't be alarmed, most of them are harmless bacteria. This was Google's first server. It was made by Larry Page and Sergey Brin in 1996 with 10 hard drives of 4 GB each. Since they had no way to stack them, they built this box out of Lego bricks. This must be one of the worst-looking desserts in history. It contains crushed cookies, cake, and Tootsie Rolls. It's like eating a cat's dirty litter box. These are the 3 fastest fish in the world. The swordfish, capable of swimming at 100 kilometers per hour. The second place goes to the sailfish at 110 kilometers per hour. The champion is the black marlin at 132 kilometers per hour. Brandon Johnson creates the scariest Halloween costumes. He made this with stilts, old clothes, and papier-mâché. Men's facial hair grows up to 0.4 millimeters a day and 14 centimeters a year. In theory, if you spent your whole life without shaving, your beard could measure up to 9 meters long. This is how they perform an MRI on sick fish. The sponge helps keep the moisture while they conduct the study. This is what happens when you type Chicxulub into Google. It's a Google Easter egg in reference to the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. Did you know there are bed-making competitions? Speed, accuracy, and skill are evaluated for each participant. Jack Williams is a professional ventriloquist. He can talk without moving his mouth, but he can also do this. He intentionally desynchronizes the movement of his mouth and the sound to confuse you even more.
Bumblebee. 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 Bumblebee.
The company Turning Hearts creates custom plaques with QR codes so that people can place them on their loved ones' gravestones. By scanning them with their camera, people can see the name, likes, and photos of the person. It's a nice way to remember those who are no longer there. At first glance, these look like plastic bags filled with water, but they are not. They are blown glass sculptures made by Dylan Martinez. Do you know what the dirtiest object in the entire house is on average? It sounds ironic, but it's the sponge. We use it to wash dishes, but most people don't wash it correctly, leading to food scraps and bacteria. In Algeria, there is a rock formation shaped like a hedgehog. There is a website where you can buy animal poop of various kinds and send it by mail to anyone you want. No joke. Can you imagine receiving a package like this? These are pieces of copper that have oxidized upon contact with oxygen in the air. This is what the inside of the Statue of Liberty looks like. Look at how ice skaters and figure skaters train with the help of this gadget. They get accustomed to maintaining balance and not getting dizzy. Did you know that your thumb emits no sound when you snap your fingers? The sound you hear is created when your middle finger hits the palm of your hand. This is what happens when you pour hot glass onto a glass cup. This is what the Navratri festival in India looks like from the air, where over 50,000 people dance for 9 days to celebrate the victory of good over evil. These tattoos are inspired by barrier grid animation. They seem to be in motion. The lights on some roads in Norway have a system that dims the lights when no cars are passing. This helps save energy and reduce light pollution that affects many insects. Actor Brian Blessed met the famous painter Pablo Picasso when he was only 14 years old. He asked him to draw something on a piece of paper to prove his identity. Picasso agreed and drew this. Since he wasn't convinced it was actually the painter, he threw it on the floor. Fortunately, someone picked it up. Today the drawing is valued at $50 million. This is what happens when you put a slinky on an inclined treadmill. The flags that look the most alike are Chad's and Romania's. They have the same 3 colors, the only difference is the shade of blue. Romania's is darker. Did you know about the bear cat, also known as the binturong? It's a carnivorous mammal that lives in Southeast Asia. This must be one of the best marketing strategies in history. This is the flyer for the pizzeria crust in Kosovo. This is one of the most difficult BMX tricks. Ryan Williams tried it for 10 years, about 1,000 times, until he finally landed it.